One quiet morning, as the sun stretched its golden arms across the countryside, a sleek black crow sat perched high in the branches of an old oak tree. Her feathers glistened like polished obsidian in the light, and in her beak she clutched a large, delicious piece of cheese. She had found it near a farmhouse and taken it as her prize. Now she rested in her favorite spot, intending to enjoy her breakfast in peace, far away from hungry eyes and greedy paws. She felt proud, not just for her find, but for her own cleverness in stealing it without being caught. The crow was content, and more than a little smug. But little did she know, trouble was already on its way. Trotting through the forest path below was a fox, sharp-eyed, sharp-witted, and always hungry. His stomach growled as he sniffed the air, catching the scent of something rich and creamy. He paused, his nose twitching, and followed the smell until he looked up and saw the crow in the tree, with the cheese firmly held in her beak. His eyes gleamed. He knew he couldn't climb the tree, nor could he scare the crow into dropping the cheese. But he didn't need to. What he had was far more powerful than claws or teeth. He had charm, and he had words. "Ah, what a magnificent sight!" the fox called out sweetly, stepping into the sunlight where the crow could see him clearly. "Is that a bird or a queen I see perched so high above me?" The crow blinked and looked down. She didn't speak, of course she couldn't without dropping her precious cheese, but her curiosity was piqued. No one had ever called her a queen before. The fox smiled wider, his voice smooth as silk. "Truly, I've never seen feathers so glossy, so dark and rich. The ravens must envy you, and the doves must despair. But I wonder, do you have a voice to match such beauty? Surely a bird so lovely must sing like no other." The crow shifted slightly on her branch, her chest puffed up with pride. The flattery was working. She had always thought her cawing had a certain strength, even elegance. Perhaps the fox was right. Perhaps the world needed to hear her song. The fox continued, pacing slowly beneath the tree. "Please, just a note, one note, I would consider it the honor of my life." Unable to resist, overwhelmed by pride and eager to impress, the crow opened her beak to sing. The moment she did, the cheese slipped from her mouth and fell like a stone straight down into the fox's waiting jaws. Snap! The fox caught it easily and grinned up at the stunned crow, who now sat with an empty beak and a sinking heart. "My dear crow," said the fox, licking his lips, "your voice is indeed strong, but your judgment, I'm afraid, is rather weak." He chuckled and turned to walk away, tail swaying, already tasting victory in every bite. "Let this be a lesson," he called over his shoulder, "that flattery is often served with a side of trickery, and pride, my friend, can make fools of us all." The crow sat in silence, burning with shame. She had been outsmarted not by strength or speed, but by smooth words and her own vanity. The cheese was gone, and with it her morning joy. She looked down at the fox disappearing into the woods, and realized that sometimes the sharpest hunters don't need claws at all, just clever tongues. From that day forward, the crow was never again swayed by compliments, no matter how sweet they sounded. She learned to see through empty praise and listen closely to the motives behind kind words. She still perched on her favorite branch, but with wiser eyes and a quieter pride. As for the fox, he continued his stroll through the forest, always on the lookout for his next meal and his next opportunity to flatter someone right out of their good sense. The story of the fox and the crow has lived on for generations, not just as a tale for amusement, but as a timeless reminder. Words are powerful tools, and when used with cunning, they can deceive even the smartest among us. Vanity, when left unchecked, makes us easy prey. So the next time someone showers you with compliments, especially when they have something to gain, remember the crow. Don't open your mouth too quickly. Don't let your pride speak louder than your reason, because sometimes the most dangerous traps are not hidden in the ground, but hidden in praise.